Hi, my name is Dee Massengale, and I would like to share with you my story of how my heaven on earth spirit photography all came to be. I had adopted one of the lost boys of Sudan, and he was every bit family to me as your own children are to you. And I have a very unique situation in that I have no children, I was divorced, and everybody literally in my family had already passed away. So I asked him as a joke over and over, "Will you take care of me when I'm old?" And his response was, "I will never leave you." Well, he hasn't, and I've got pictures to prove it. A year after his funeral, we did a memorial service, and a few days later, I went to look in my camera to view the pictures, and there was this enormous white globe of light with an etheric energy field around it that I inherently knew must be him. And then as I looked closer, I saw the date on the photograph. Mind you, this was July 17th, 2010, but the photograph read March the 28th, 2009, which is my birthday and the last birthday that we spent together. So I knew that this photograph had his signature on it and that he was once again letting me know he had never left. From that day forward, I could be inside with the flash, outside with just sunshine, in the darkness of the night and say, "Marielle, are you here?" Take a picture and there would be a big white orb. It was uncanny. And then more and more of these white orbs began to come into my pictures, and I would make a joke and say, "Well, my whole family's here. We're having a family reunion." And then a year later, it was just right after my mother passed away, and I literally had no family at that point. It was my birthday again. And I was having a bit of a pity party, and I said to my camera, "Let's see if any of my family are here," because I was alone. And I took a picture assuming that there would be a couple white orbs. But there, over the mantle, over my mother's and father's picture, was a beautiful green orb, and over Marielle's picture was a rainbow orb. And if you don't know what a rainbow orb looks like, it's multicolored and looks like this. And this rainbow orb hovered over his picture, and the green orb hovered over my mother's picture for over an hour. I took 126 pictures, and they were just moving around my room. And also down near the floor, there was a very beautiful but unusual looking object, which I later termed my UFO. And this is a large picture of it. And for over a year, in every single picture, this energy, or fifth dimensional being, would be in my photographs. Sometimes it was so small that I could capture it in my hand. Sometimes it was so large that it would overtake the size of my car. And at the same time, that energy was also what I call the flame of Archangel Michael. In other words, when I look through the viewfinder of the camera, that prior energy or image and this one were the same things. I would see it metamorph from the flame to the other image and back again. So even though they're two entirely different looking pictures, they are the same energy. Well, as the months went on, so did the variety of what I was capturing in my camera. And to date, it's been 2.5 years, and I've gone through 5 little point-and-shoot cameras. I don't know how to use the fancy SLR. So I'm not using lenses, I'm not using Photoshop. What you see is what I'm seeing through the lens. Sometimes spirit comes through the light in my window, and this is what I get. Multicolored orbs and rainbow orbs and all sorts of light and energy. Sometimes it's the violet flame, and sometimes it looks like this. Sometimes it's much more subtle. Sometimes it's variegated, and as of recently, it's chartreuse, and it flashes, and I have to be very fast to capture it. I am able to get these images over people, especially children. You can see the energy over the boy's head with the rainbow orb, and there is a face inside this dark spot here. And so I told him that he was truly protected by angels, and it is my inherent belief that this is his father who died before he was born with him. So sometimes spirit comes and overtakes the side of my building. As you can see, this is multiple images of rainbow orbs. So I never know on a given day what I'm going to get, but I always go outside and say, "Good morning, God. Good morning, angels. May I please see you?" And they appear. So I'd like to invite you to take a few minutes to look at my website and view some of these pictures, because I believe that it is a bit of heaven that is being shared with us. Right before my mother died in hospice, she had been unconscious, eyes closed, hadn't said anything for days, and all of a sudden burst out and says, "So beautiful." And I said, "Mama, what's so beautiful?" And she said, "The colors." So when I look through my viewfinder and I see these magnificent colors, I know it's a bit of heaven. Hence the name of my website, Heaven on Earth Spirit Photography. Just believe.